Hi, this is the video lesson for our Writing 1 class today. So we're going to talk about a completely different thing, something unlike what we normally talk about. Normally we talk about the rules that we follow to write sentences correctly, to make sure we're not writing run-ons, to make sure we have clear antecedents, to make sure that our sentences are complete sentences, make sure we punctuate them right, and do all those things. But tonight we're going to talk more about our instinct for what sounds right. Now, the kind of question we're going to look at is a kind of question that's relatively newer on the GED and the HiSET. We didn't used to see this kind of question. We used to see it more on writing placement tests for colleges. When you enroll in a college and take a writing placement test to see what level of English class you're going to start with. So this is called sentence reconstruction, this skill. And we're going to look a little bit at how it works, and then I'm going to let you work through some of the examples on the handout for today. Okay, so look at this sentence. The Student Senate debated the issue for 2 hours and finally voted down the resolution. Okay, so there's a sentence. And in that sentence, we've got the Student Senate doing something. They do a couple of things. First, they debate an issue, and then they vote down a resolution. Okay? Well, what would happen if we started the sentence differently? What would happen if we started the sentence like this in red? Having debated the issue for 2 hours, what if we started the sentence that way? Then which one of these would need to be the next words in that sentence if we started the sentence this way? Now, there are reasons and rules for whichever the correct one being the correct answer, but mostly we want to think about not the rule so much as what our ear for sentence structure and stuff tells us. So let's just think about it. If we said, having debated the issue for 2 hours, would the next words be the issue? So remember, the Student Senate debated the issue, and then the Student Senate finally voted down the resolution. So if we say, having debated the issue for 2 hours, so we've already got the issue in here. So having debated the issue for 2 hours, somebody's going to do something, right? So who's doing something in this sentence? It's the Student Senate, right? The Student Senate is who's doing something in this sentence. So what about if it said, so it's not the issue doing something. What we're expecting next is, having done this, somebody's going to do something. So it can't be the issue that does something. Could we just say, having debated the issue for 2 hours, so if we put an it next here, if the next word was it, what would the it refer back to? Having debated the issue for 2 hours, it still seems like it would mean the issue, right? It would seem like the antecedent of it would be the issue. We already know it's not the issue that's doing something next. What if it said, having debated the issue for 2 hours, the Student Senate, okay, well, they're the people that are doing something in the original sentence. So how would that sentence go? Having debated the issue for 2 hours, the Student Senate did what? They finally voted down the resolution. That would work, right? Could it be a vote? Having debated the issue for 2 hours, a vote. Well, there was a vote taken, right? So we could say, having debated the issue for 2 hours, a vote was taken, and the student senate finally voted down the resolution. Well, that might work, but it's got an awful lot of repetition in it. We're repeating vote, we're repeating having debated the issue for 2 hours, a vote was taken, and the student senate finally voted down the resolution. So we've got vote, a vote was taken, and then the student senate voted. So why would we repeat that, right? So of these possible answers, this seems to be the one that would most logically go next. Having debated the issue for 2 hours, the student senate voted down the resolution. That's like the student senate debated the issue for 2 hours and finally voted down the resolution. Having debated the issue for 2 hours, the student senate finally voted down the resolution. So that's a graceful way to finish that sentence. Okay? All right. I'm going to stop this video here. We'll come back and look at another problem.